Hi everyone, it's Danny. Alrighty, today we're gonna talk about a novelty Phalaenopsis orchid that I just found. And it's a good opportunity to buy it, take a close look at it, because this one is supposed to be special. So if I found it in my stores, there is a high chance this orchid will come at a store near you pretty soon. Now this orchid's name appears to be Phalaenopsis Singolo. Pretty fitting name, I might add, because as you might have noticed, this appears to be a Phalaenopsis orchid with one single humongous, I might add, flower. Now if we take a look at the product description on the internet, we can see that this is the very first Phalaenopsis orchid to produce one single flower. It's actually a premiere. And also it appears to have a compact growth, making it very suitable for small spaces. And at a first glance, it appears to be a tiny Phalaenopsis orchid with one single flower. Now, because in the past we've had our fair share of misleading marketing campaigns, and might I remind you, the famous blue Phalaenopsis orchid, it's pretty logical to be a little bit skeptic about this one. So let's find out if this indeed is the very first Phalaenopsis hybrid to produce one single flower. Now, at a first glance, this orchid does appear to only have one single flower. But if we take a look in the back, we can see that the flower spike was actually cut. You can visibly see the wound here. Now, this tells me that the flower spike actually was longer than this, or at least it had a tip. So the company who sells this cuts the tip because they might be afraid this orchid will actually produce more flowers. So regarding the statement that this is the very first orchid with one single flower, well, that's not really true, is it? If we get any normal Phalaenopsis orchid and we cut the tip of the flower spike, we'll get pretty much the same result. So from this perspective, no, I do not think this is the very first Phalaenopsis orchid to only have one bloom. Cutting the spike will actually ensure that this orchid will not produce any more blooms. But there is a chance that one of these nodes will actually produce a secondary spike. So that pretty much defies the first statement of this orchid. Now the second statement was that this is a compact grower, so it will not take up a lot of space. Well, let's take a look. As you can see, the roots on this baby are humongous. They're really thick. I've never actually encountered a mini Phalaenopsis orchid with these types of roots. So this actually tells me that this might not be a mini Phalaenopsis at all. Then let's take a look at the leaves. We can see here that this particular leaf is much bigger than the newest leaf. This usually doesn't happen unless there are some stress factors in the environment which makes the orchid not produce bigger and bigger leaves. Jackie is excited as well. Usually this is not what we're looking for when we're growing orchids. So I have a funny suspicion that this orchid will actually grow much bigger than this. And if you are under the impression that this was a mini Phalaenopsis, I dare to say it is not. And I think in the future it will grow to be a little monster actually. Now regarding the bloom, if you didn't make an idea of how big this bloom is, take a look at it compared to my hand. It's almost bigger than my hand. Now I only know one type of orchid that can produce these types of blooms, and this is the Phalaenopsis Singolo, which I actually had, and I'll add an info card right here on the screen so you can check it out. It was a beautiful orchid which I sadly lost due to spider mites. Now that orchid indeed had very thick roots, very big leaves, very big flowers, and it was white. So I have a funny sensation that this is just a Singolo orchid that has been induced or inhibited into this type of growth. How this was possible? Well, I'm afraid that's a company secret. It might be a combination of external factors and inhibiting hormones. I'm not a chemist, so I don't really know, but I do know it's possible to inhibit the growth of a plant to make it more compact. Now, you might say, well, this is a big, huge scam and it's not worth buying this orchid. But if you were to buy a Singolo at full price with those nice cascading flowers, I bet you will pay 3 times as much as you would pay for this one. And this actually is a win for me because I didn't pay all that much for it. I lost my Singolo and that's a hybrid I really wanted to have, and also I got to do an informal and educational video on this particular Phalaenopsis orchid. So I really don't mind if this orchid will become a monster because take a look at this flower. No matter if you like Phalaenopsis orchids or not, this is really a spectacular flower, and I do want this orchid to create those beautiful cascading blooms that I know. In any case, I will keep you updated with the evolution of this orchid like I always do, and we'll see in the future if this will stay compact or not, or if it will produce one single flower without me cutting the stem, which I seriously doubt, but it remains to be seen. And if you see this orchid in the store, now you know a little bit more about it, you know what I think of it, and it's up to you if you want to buy it or not. If you want to buy this orchid because it's tiny and because it will produce one single flower, I don't think you should really go for it. But if you want to buy this orchid because it is cheaper than a Sogo Euclidean, and you actually want to have a proper Phalaenopsis hybrid with big white blooms that might also create a big cascading spike of flowers, then definitely go for this. It is actually a beautiful Phalaenopsis orchid. It's a little bit more pricey than any standard white Phalaenopsis, but the Sogo Euclidean, if you get it at full development stage, you would probably pay a lot more for that hybrid. So okay guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it and you found it useful. I am pretty happy with my purchase because I do love the Sogo Euclidean, and at this price, really, I don't mind to have one single flower now and next year to have a cascade of flowers. It all depends on the care that I will provide. So if you'd like to stay updated with the evolution of this orchid, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post on a daily basis. Also, I talk about other orchids, care tutorials, and so on. So if you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Also, feel free to leave me questions or suggestions for videos in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you. If you click on the left side of your screen, you'll be directed to orchidnature.com, where you'll find care sheets, identification sheets, and also you can talk to us in the forum section. And if you click on the right side of your screen, you'll be directed to my care tutorial for Phalaenopsis orchids. Thank you for joining. I'll see you next time. Bye!